So, if it's a Keller Williams listing, what do you put on here? Dual agency. Now, you do need a check here and here, okay? You need an X. And you need an X. Okay? Make sure you put your X's. That's a common missed area on a review, just FYI. So make sure you check your A and B, or you check your C if it's dual agency, okay? Customers, what does a customer mean?
Just means that somebody's not represented.
Correct, not represented by an agent.
The boss admins for it is not a member of national, what?
Correct.
That auto-populated?
No, that's in the template, is a member of the National Association of Realtors. You're rarely gonna deal with a company on the island that isn't,
Oh, I see.
because they're all, pretty much, as far as I know, they all are. I haven't dealt with any. If you get a really small company, you might wanna just ask your broker if they know,
Oh, okay.
but then you can always reach out and say, just making sure you're a member of NAR,
Okay.
right? So that's gonna be an auto-populate from the template,
Okay.
you see it. Okay, we all good on that part? Yeah, okay. Page 2. All right, here's what I want you to do on page 2. It's 12:18, so you got 12 minutes. I'm gonna work on page 2. This is your buyer, right? So I want you to write an offer for your buyer. Page 2, what are you putting in there? Earnest money, okay, the question was asked. Here's what I would say. Some people say certain percentages, some people say certain thousands. I usually go with 5,000 earnest money for $500,000. I usually up it to 10 when the property goes up to about 850. It's a negotiable amount. I mean, it really is. So you can figure out what works for your client and offer what they want. Now, I don't naturally offer the additional deposit into escrow after J1, which you guys know J1 is your inspection period, right? So J1's the time that you have to inspect the property, to do your home inspection, to ask for repairs, right? That's your J1, you're gonna hear that constantly, your J1 inspection period. It's the #1 most referenced inspection period for the property. So some people will put additional deposit paid into escrow after J1. I'm seeing more people come back and ask for that. I will never automatically offer it with my buyers,
Oh, yeah.
but I will warn them if we could get countered on that. Just wanted you to know.
So it's not necessary.
It's all negotiable.
Got it.
This is a negotiation, yep.
So let's say you use your standard of 5,000 for X amount, 10,000 for this amount, and then they come back and they counter you with that, so then they would tell you that they're countering the amount that they
In the
would like.
counter offer.
Understood.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in the counter offer, you'll see it. Watch the word standard. Be very careful, do not use the word standard with your clients. It's a very dangerous word. Like, people will often use it, well, the standard commission is 3%. We do not have standards in our business. It is all negotiable. You have to be really careful using that word,
Understood.
okay?
Because of the Sherman antitrust.
Yeah,
There's a reason.
Can you use the word what's common, or I see often, or what would you
no,
just say?
you just say, here's what I do.
Gotcha.
Here's what I recommend for your scenario. Here's what is the recommendation. It's all negotiable.
Okay.
Right? So I always let people know, look, I'm not gonna offer up your money on the J1, but they may come back and ask. I warn people, they may come back and ask. You never know. Some
Do you
agents
play with
it,
this,
some
like,
don't.
let's say you're gonna kick somebody with a low offer, but are you gonna maybe dress it up in the earnest money there, or?
You can,
Uh-huh.
it's part of the negotiation, right?
Sure.
You also wanna, watch with your finances, what you wanna make sure that you always do, especially in the beginning, I would recommend you send a screenshot of this and a screenshot of the breakdown of the money, approvals from the lender. So it's this one, I would send a screenshot of that and this to the lender and say, are we good with all these? Just double check with your lender, cause remember your lender, these are really your lender's numbers, cause this is all your approvals, pre-approvals, pre-qualifications, blah, blah, blah. I just literally send it to the lender and say, we good with this? And this is a 60-day close, or this is a 45-day close, whatever it is, right? Cause that's their numbers, that's what they need to be able to meet, because that's all their approvals. We'll get to that later, but in the beginning, you definitely wanna be sending them here's what I'm putting here, Are you guys, is the lender good with that, right? So, I want you guys to fill this out. Fill. Alright. You fill out, I'm more interested, I'll be right back.
Now I gotta do math.
You gotta do math, it'll do it for you, but yes, you gotta do math.
$2.89 office price, we did 30,000, so let's see if these guys have to do a 30% deposit. So that's something in Hawaii, that y'all can go to buy a vacation in a condo, not really a vacation, but at least 30% down. That's like the expectation you set up. So that would be 840,000, so I would do it over here since I already gave it 30.
And that is so hard for them,
So yeah, well, I just go down.
Are you doing it? Or you've done one?
No, well, this is where I was getting stuck, so I gotta get
B one, the top part, how did you decide that you choose from the three?
So are you, just like one of the coaches always said, like taking money, like they're not in the process. So I said choose that, but usually, probably gonna be more. I didn't look at it too much, it's usually.
Oh, I see.
You say, hey, yes, you take the money, put it down, you wanna drop it off,
Okay.
it's your money.
Right,
And whatever they do.
okay,
You want to, and the phone, and then you can sell it. Sometimes wire, it's just a little wire fee or something, so. So
okay,
you just stop, this one just have a wire drop off.
okay.
That's fine. So that's gonna be for next month,
Yeah.
but this money always goes towards the
Then you get,
Okay.
So what I did was.
I think I might have just
for it,
yeah.
When I first started,
this might be already given.
sometimes about 30%.
You want to replace?
You work with first time home buyers, and then we use FHA,
Oh.
3.5%
Yeah.
down, so we can figure out that.
Okay.
This one is 100%.
Everyone's got all this stuff. Next
Or-
one, okay, what did we say, we're gonna go to Orchard's?
So I
No.
got that 30,000.
How's it
Oh,
going?
it's down there.
What do we do? Do we get it?
Sit down.
Fire representation.
And that tells us the mass, but then I had to figure out 840 minus the 10 plus the revenue. So that was the financing, and that's the one.
I see.
And then now it fills in, saves what my offer price actually is.
Which
Alright,
is-
what we do for B one? What'd you guys fill in? Initial earnest money deposit. Buyer's agent received a check from buyer that shall be deposited with escrow by the next business day after the acceptance date. I would not take a check from a client,
Okay.
just FYI. Yeah, never wanna take a check from a client. So, you're gonna ask them, they can do so generally directly deliver a check or wire initial deposit into escrow. Now, this is a little bit confusing. No matter which one you check, you're going to put an amount of business days after the acceptance in here. No matter which one you're checking, right? Whether you're checking buyer shall directly deliver a check or buyer shall wire transfer, you need the business days. Because notice it says buyer shall directly deliver a check to escrow by the next business day after acceptance date, or buyer shall wire deposit. I always put a number in there just for clarity's sake. I know it says next business day. Now, here's what's gonna happen for you guys. Your client's gonna call you and go, where am I supposed to take this check? I was supposed to take this check. I haven't taken this check. This was Friday, you told me this, it's Tuesday, what do I do? They can't take a check in until escrow's open. So just know you're fine, escrow's gonna reach out to you, okay? So, I always put that date in there just to be safe, everybody likes to see the date. I know it says next business day, but I just like to be safe. Alright, so what did we put here? How long are you giving them to respond?
I gave them till tomorrow evening at 5.
Tomorrow evening, 5, okay? Anybody else give them something different?
Where were you at? See,
See. See what?
I did. I gave him 4 days.
4 days? That's a long time. Yeah.
Now you maybe wanna reach out, get a feel for offers that have come in perhaps from the
Oh,
other.
I
agent.
definitely-
If
I'm
it's a-
always
You're
having a
fact-finding.
conversation with any agent I'm writing an offer in before I write the offer. Always. And one of the questions is how can we make this easier? Anything your clients need? Anything specific? Create a relationship before you write an offer. 100%. Asking questions. Yeah, always. So you're gonna have an idea. Sometimes this
Okay, let me get it, thanks.
is gonna be a little longer because you talk to the agent and the agent said, hey, they're older, they're on the East Coast, it takes me a while to get a response, give me a couple of days for a response. So then you might say, cool, let's give them 4 days. If it's a hot property, it's an entry-level vacation rental just listed 24 hours. You better let me know by tomorrow at 5. I don't have time for them to sit on my, because if I was a listing agent, I would sit on that until the last minute just to see what else comes through the door.
Get them multiple
You do not want that happening for your buyers, right? So, notice this is all part of the strategy, yes? So you gotta think about these things. All right. Anybody write a really lowball offer? Okay, Anne Marie, what were they asking?
1349,
1349, what'd you write for?
1250.
1250, okay? Yeah,
It was 350,
Could be.
I came at 280.
350?
3.15, or 3,050,000, and then I came
3,005,000.
at 2.8.
2.8. Is that a lowball offer?
Start the conversation.
Depends, right? Don't forget, an asking price depends, right? What's the market showing? What's the market trending? You see, there's a lot to coming up with your offer, right? Did we pull the comparative market analysis, right? I had you guys throw numbers together just because I want you to understand. Don't ever just throw numbers together with your clients. Like, there's a reason. Like, we want to make an educated offer. Does that make sense?
Based on market.
Yes, absolutely. It has a lot to do with a lot of things. All right, anybody change anything under the agenda?
Not yet.
Anybody have any realtor remarks that says, please include an as-is addendum with your offer?
Mine did not.
Okay, because if they did, that's what they're asking for, so you need to check the as-is addendum, right? And we'll be talking about those. Do we have any 1031 exchange buyers? Trick question, can you 1031 exchange your primary residence?
Negative.
No reason. Yeah, no, you cannot. If you are doing a 1031 exchange, you are selling like kind, buying like kind, and it's of equal or greater value unless you are paying taxes on the difference, and there's a whole class on that, so take a 1031 exchange class. All right, so the ones we see the most are as is addendum, 1031 exchange. Anybody have an FHA buyer?
I do.
There you go, so you would check yes for FHA on that one, right? When do I need a lead-based paint disclosure?
I don't get what beforehand.
Which properties do I need a lead-based paint disclosure on?
Prior to 70.
Old ones.
78.
Did you say eight? Sorry, 19, right? Sorry, 19. I was like, I don't think that's right.
78.
I think it's 78.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's 78. Right. Okay, now, I wanna point out one thing. The market's been a little volatile. So I do want you to know that this conventional financing and prevailing rates and terms is what we have templated in here. If you have a client who's concerned that they may not lock in at a rate that works for them, you can put at a rate not to exceed 4.2%. Right? You can put an actual rate in here, which becomes more common when the rates are rising, right? Because people go, if I can't lock in at this price, I can't afford it. You guys understanding what I mean by that?
Got it.
So you can write in there at a rate not to exceed, right, to protect your buyer. If you're seeing, I mean, we saw a 3.1 and we now are up in 4.1. Like, what just happened was insanity, like, so that gets people a little nervous. If they're like, well, what if it goes to 5.1 tomorrow? I'm not gonna buy this at 5.1. Fine, what are we comfortable at?
So you just add
Under
it in.
conversation. No, I would
Or-
just take conventional rate financing,
Oh.
and I would say, at a rate not to, conventional financing at a rate not to exceed, right. Then that puts it as a condition on the purchase contract. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay. You guys are following along. Love it. So that's page 2. This down here, pretty simple, right? TMK, is it a fee simple or a leasehold? And then we wanna put in, so if it's a condo, it's gonna put this in there. Beds, baths, condo name, 1 or 2 assigned parking stalls. And then we have the writing for you. So fairly simple. Yeah? Make sense? Okay, so here's your homework. I want you guys to go into this contract, and I want you to fill it out to the best of your ability to the very end. Okay? Yes, it is 14 pages. I just want you to fill in everything you can, and I want you to write notes on anything you are not sure about. On Monday, we're gonna switch things up a little bit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna teach you your first hour. I'm gonna teach you your first hour, and then we're gonna go straight into contracts for a half hour. I wanna get you fresh in the morning on this contract that you wrote over the weekend. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Anne Marie?
Is there, will this save automatically when I go out of it?
Yes,
Or-
that is
Okay.
now a template in there, so, well, there's a
But
save
this-
button at the top, like you can, if
There's
you're.
a save as a PDF button, but.
No, there's a save right here. When you're in, are you talking about when you're
Oh, I
in
see.
the contract or when you're in the file?
Yeah, it just
Yeah, so
wasn't
the
lit
file's
up.
fine. Like when you go back and go into the file again, back to your list, that's now gonna be a file that you can pull up. So test, you can pull it up. I can go into my documents, and I'm all good, there it is. So, your homework for the weekend, fill out your purchase contract to the best of your ability. Right, we want you to get familiar with the purchase contract. Realistically, if you can fill out 4 or 5 of these before you actually sit down with the client, you're gonna feel much better and much more confident about what you're talking about. Make sense? Awesome. Okay. Only 4 minutes late, I'm sorry. I kept you 4 minutes over. You guys did awesome. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you all on Monday.
Awesome weekend, everybody. You wanna open house?
Yeah, you're gonna be like, Mom, that's the great story.
I'm gonna work on this because I just haven't been on it. I just have to put the MLS and then I'm gonna practice it.
Yeah, I
I'm not one that, you see, the way my brain is, I'm thinking about,
today, or like
okay, the
this morning when I
agency
checked.
thing and all, Liz Redding, and she's already moved like 3 steps ahead of me, so I'm lost, you know. I want to say, I've always been that kind of one where I learn about reputation. Once I do, then I can always like, yeah. Yeah.
What you might wanna do.
Yeah, I've never done it before,
Is
so.
just shoot your.
When I did, yeah, I was in Broken Charlesburg, it was 21 back in 93, and we never had any. We didn't
Right,
have it.
okay, so what you're probably gonna have to do is lose
Yeah.
yourself.
So we did everything.
So remove my hand, let's see if this works.
handwritten.
Did you just do that
So I
just today?
understand.
Oh, yeah. It may take a little time to
Negotiating,
update
I
here.
understand
Avon?
logic and values and comps and how to relate to people. It's just, the technology.
Still
yeah.
says
And I-
that, it's
and
gonna
I'll-
take a little
I just
while.
have to practice.
Remember,
on
it's
that.
get in touch and
Um,
confirm, I don't know why it's backwards like that, but there you go.
Okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
hopefully I
And
can
then so
figure it
now
out.
that I
this
have
weekend.
that,
Try to set
I just
something
need
up.
to send me the ground, right? And then they give me access to all that.
Yeah.
And
No,
What they're gonna
like
do is
yesterday,
you're
I
gonna
went to
sign up for
7,
Graham.
8, 9 open
They'll make you
houses
take your
yesterday
your
after we
ethics
left here over in,
online.
on West Mountain.
Super quick.
And,
Okay.
so I wanted,
Takes
it's
like
a little bit
maybe an
each
hour,
day
so
of doing
it's not like
something,
an all day or anything.
mixing it up a little bit.
You're gonna sign up for RAM orientation, but they've got
Inventory
classes for
understanding,
30
getting
days.
to know the realtors again.
Okay.
So the RAM orientation next month's gonna be
You know,
canceled.
but
Okay.
the software is
That
gonna
being
be,
said,
it's gonna be a challenge
more you
for the
can
next
help
month,
you through.
I know that, it's just the way I
They're not
think
doing
it.
those classes
It's a
for
lot
30
of
days.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you, John, for today.
Well, I'm
Hey,
still,
with
I
pleasure.
should
Nice
download
meeting
some
you.
contacts, I still
We're
have to
still
figure out how to do
continuing
that.
this as far as we
So,
know,
Yeah, that's another thing I can do this weekend.
So I just let the powers that be.
Yeah, in the midst
show
of it, I
up.
had,
Um,
I had a
but
death
we'll
in
walk
the
you through
family, I
everything
had,
we can.
moved
You'll
out
be
of the
missing a few
storage.
things until you get into
And
ramps, like they
cleaned out
have,
this whole
they
storage
have a
area.
class that teaches you how to do
And
MLS,
I
they have a
got
class that teaches you
taxes
how to
with
do
my
zip
wife
forms,
on
all that stuff.
Saturday.
But
So
can
it's
I,
like,
if I,
this is,
like,
once I get the taxes done, I feel
do I
like,
have access to that?
but
They
right
will
now I'm
probably give
overloaded
you
with
I
stuff,
think
so
they'll give you a
I'm
number
just
to go
taking
down
my
there and say,
time.
hey, when I sign up, I have my license number, to say I just want my MLS
Yeah.
ID, and just see if they can do it right away. I'm not sure if it's instantaneous or not.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
so sorry.
Yeah.
And someone told me they are by the.
So you understand.
They sure are, yep,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright.
Like the down to
Yeah.
earth and then you go out parking lot.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
so I have to go there and talk to them
Yep,
or whatever,
and you
okay,
gotta pay,
right,
that's, yeah, you gotta go
Yeah.
there,
Oh, no,
talk to
I
them,
have no-
pay, and
And
then,
if I had somebody call me and said, I wanna buy
Okay.
something today,
so
then
they
I
should be
would
able to, I
giddy
think,
up, probably
I'm trying
work
to think if they
with
actually
somebody on
do your
it,
access
you know.
right there, or
Yeah.
send you an email, I can't remember.
oh, okay, I'll check that out,
Exactly, but.
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Well,
Yeah, for sure.